and I bear witness that Muhammad is his servant and messenger. Alayhi salatu wassalam.
Oh.
Dear brothers and sisters, we have talked before about the love of the companions for Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing of Allah be upon him. Today, we would like to talk about our love to the Messenger of Allah, alayhi salatu wassalam, to experience a bright side of love for our Prophet in the hearts of those who are loyal to this religion, those who love him, alayhi salatu wasalam, the most, love him more than their love to themselves, more than their love to their family and to their wealth. Today, inshallah, we'll be talking about the people who among us that love the Prophet most, and the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam returned the love to them, and he loved them, and he sees them, and he wishes to be with them as they wished to be with him, alayhi salatu wasalam. And in that meaning, our beloved Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam said in the authentic hadith narrated by Abu Huraira, the Prophet said, the people most loved by me amongst my ummah would be those who would come after me and would have the desire to catch a glimpse of me, even at the cost of their family and their wealth. And that's an honor, brothers and sisters, that Prophet Muhammad gave us the good news that he loved some of us, that we apply in our life his education, his sunnah, and we love him more than ourselves and our family and our wealth. That is a sincere love, accompanied with a true faith, a true belief in the prophecy of Muhammad, peace and blessing of Allah be upon him, leading to the faith of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the only one, the creator. The Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam astonished his companions with this sincere love from these people who did not see him, yet they loved him. A love is comparable to the companions' love to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, the companions who have seen him and have lived with him. And in that meaning came this authentic hadith that the Messenger of Allah said, O people, who is the most admired of creation in faith? The companions answered, the angel, O Messenger of Allah. The Prophet said, how can the angel not believe? And they seen Allah. They are aware of Allah. They seen what Allah does. They seen the revelation. Then the second answer from the companion was, the prophets. The prophets are the one that who have the admire faith. The prophet said, how can the prophets not believe while the revelations descends to them? Then the third answer was the companions, your companions, O Messenger of Allah. The Prophet said, how can my companions not believe when they see me among them? The Prophet answered the question and he said, the people most admired in faith are those who come after me. That's us, brothers and sisters. Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam talking about us. The Prophet said, the most admired people in faith are those who come after me. They believe in me without seeing me. And they believe of what I said, despite not hearing it from me directly. Those are my brothers. Those are my sisters. How honorable we are, or some of us who have the Prophet's love in our hearts. The Prophet ﷺ announced that he loved those people who have his love in their hearts, people among us. We're not talking about the companions. We're not talking about the angels. We're not talking about anyone. We're talking about us, brothers and sisters. That is a blessing for those who have loved the Messenger of Allah sincerely, that the Prophet recognized them and loved them and wished he had met them. The Prophet wished that he had met those who have his love in their hearts among us. As he alayhi salatu wasalam said in the authentic hadith, I wish I had met my brothers. The companion said, O Messenger of Allah, aren't we your brothers and companions? We believed in you and we support you. We believe in you and we support you. The Prophet said, of course you are. But I am talking about people who come after you. They believe in me and they support me as you believed and supported me. They do that. The talk continue about us. They do that without seeing me. I wish I had met my brothers. The Prophet ﷺ repeated. Dear brothers and sisters, now we must ask ourselves few very important questions. Do we love the Messenger of Allah sincerely? And how can we express our love to the Messenger of Allah? And the third question is, were we good ambassadors for the Messenger of Allah, alayhi salatu wassalam? And of course, we all can answer the first question, that we love the Messenger of Allah. The second question and the third question is very hard to answer. So as for the second and the third question, we need improvement to represent the Messenger of Allah. We need improvement in carry the message of Islam and be true ambassadors for this religion and for Muhammad, peace and blessing of Allah upon him. We need improvement to be faithful servants of Allah, as the Messenger of Allah taught us, and as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran in Surah Al-Ahzab, verse number 36, what it can be translated: it is not fitting for a believer, man or woman, to have an option about their decision when a matter has been decided by Allah and His Messenger. And if anyone disobeys Allah and His Messenger, he is indeed on a clearly wrong path. Brothers and sisters, we must submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty, by adhering to His laws, obeying and submitting to His commands, being content with His ruling, giving precedence to belief over national origin, ethnic backgrounds, and wealth. Our belief should be above all of this. We must unite as a community and achieve equality.
اطلع بره يا عم، اطلع بره. Sit down, please. Sit down, please. Sit down, please. Brother, come to here.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. استغفر الله العظيم. استغفر الله العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان.
كمل يا أستاذ محمد. كمل.
Brothers and sisters, we must submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty, by adhering to His laws, obeying and submitting to His commands, being content with His ruling, giving precedence to believe over national origin, over ethnic backgrounds and wealth. We must unite as community and achieve equality and social justice to all. Each of us can do this, and each of us can do his best through his position in the society. We must be the best, brothers and sisters. We must be the best, the strongest, and the most peaceful. We must be the strongest and the most peaceful human being on this earth by our good deeds, not by our words only. We have the book, we have the sunnah, and if we follow them, we will have the toleration to one another. We will have a peaceful life, inshallah. If we do that, brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will fulfill his promise. In Surah An-Nur, verse number 55, where it can be translated, Allah has promised to those among you, among us, who believe and do righteous deed, that He will grant them power in this earth as He granted those before them, and He will establish in authority their religion, the one which He chosen for them, and He will change their state of fear. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will change our state of fear, which we live in sometimes, to a state of security and peace. To a state of security and peace, brothers and sisters. They will worship Allah alone and will not associate with Him anyone. And whoever reject the faith after that, they are rebellious and wicked. That was the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A promise that will make us honorable and happy in this life and the hereafter. So let us renew our faith, brothers and sisters. Let us make dua for all of us, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us following His guidance. May Allah help us following His guidance, and may Allah grant peace and faith in our hearts, grant us peace and faith, and may Allah make us live in security and peaceful life for us, for our neighbors, for our society, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
الحمد لله الذي